Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up for this content. Leave comments below on anything, questions, concerns, anything, leave it in the comment section. Today I'm going to go over an overall market. I'm going to look at a whole bunch of different things. It'll include a little bit of uranium, a little bit of precious metals, a little bit of just the tech companies, maybe some renewable energy companies. We'll look at the whole thing. And they're not necessarily situated in any sort of order. I kind of was just looking across the entire broad spectrum to see what opportunities are out there. So this is an overall technical analysis market update. So let's pop in here. So the first one's EXK. It's a silver mining company. And what you want to look for are large up days. These are the big up days in the white candlesticks. You want to see the large, big body candlestick up days with smaller down days for pullbacks. This thing's looking pretty good to continue to the upside. That's what I'm seeing. So this one's looking very good. This is EXK. This one's Canalaska Uranium. It's an uranium exploration company. This one's looking good. This is called a bullish engulfing pattern. This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for confirmation to see a reversal candlestick. And a bullish engulfing is the candlestick is an up day, and the body engulfs the one before it, which it does completely. This is a hammer as well. So we've got a hammer, we've got a little down day, and then we have a bullish engulfing. So this looks pretty good. This is CVVUF for a uranium company. It's an exploration company. Here's another exploration company, Standard Uranium, and it's putting in a bullish engulfing as well. The candlestick body's engulfing the one before it. So this one's also looking good, and we're at a support line. So I think this one is worth looking into. And since we're looking at all these uranium companies, this is Baseload Energy, which is another uranium exploration company. We've got a hammer here, bearish engulfing, and then we have a bullish piercing, which means that the body of the candlestick went down below this one and finished about halfway or above on the candlestick before. This is a bullish engulfing or bullish piercing, which means that it's a reversal pattern to go to the upside. So I like it down here. I would be personally a buyer down here. Franco-Nevada. Now, there's something I want to touch on with technical analysis here, and I'm not saying this is the necessary bottom, but if you look back in this section in here, what you see are very large down days. It's being sold off. We've got bearish engulfing, bearish piercing, or dark cloud cover is what that's called. Bearish engulfing. So this thing was going to head lower. Bearish engulfing, head lower. And now we're starting to see a large up day. So I'm not saying that this is necessarily bottom, but what I'm saying is when you change the momentum, you have to see large candlestick bodies like this one here today. So hopefully we can string together a bunch of very large, big candlestick up days, saying that the momentum is changing in the chart. Right now, this thing's in a pretty good downtrend. We need something to change this downtrend in Franco-Nevada. So I'm watching it, and I'm watching for big candlestick up days to come up, small pullback, and then this continued upward momentum. UU. Now this one's a really tough one to read before this day, this 17, 18% update today, wherever it ended. What's tough to read about it is this is a bearish engulfing. It pulled back, and then we've got these small up days coming up inside of the bearish pullback. Then you've got an up day, but it started up here and closed lower, which means the momentum is going to the downside. I would have not been a buyer on this day. I would have waited, and I would have missed out on this 17% up day. Now, I'm not selling any of my shares that I purchased a long time ago, but from a technical standpoint, there was no signs or indications for a 17% update to ensue the day after. And I know there was some news that came out for energy fuels. So this one from a technical standpoint would have been a tough one to read. Westwater Resources, looks like this guy's finally starting to move sideways. It's contracted down the candlestick body sizes are the opening and closing prices are starting to meet each other, which means the buyers are equaling the sellers. I think this momentum's working its way off. I'd like to see a nice big strong close saying that, hey, look, we're done with this pullback, and look for buying into strength. So I'm looking for strength. I haven't seen it yet. We don't have a reversal candlestick yet. So let's look for that reversal candlestick. But if you guys like WWR, it wouldn't be necessarily a bad time to slowly put a little bit in. Because whenever you see this momentum, when the candlesticks start contracting, you get a big update. This is a bullish engulfing. And then the small down days next to it, this is what you want to look for. I'd be a buyer in this area right here because of this bullish engulfing and the small little sell-offs of the red candlesticks. That's what I'm looking for. Grand Tier Energy, nice little hammer here. The momentum's still down, but I think we're going to slow this momentum down and hopefully go sideways and eventually move on up. Sometimes these smaller companies move very quickly, very, very fast. Like this one just bounced up and shot up like a cannon. And then you get this nice contraction and then shoots on up. So this one's looking okay. Tellurian, this one's still in pullback mode. I don't see a clear bottom yet for Tellurian. Tesla. Now, I wanted to throw in a couple of technology companies to show you what I'm looking out. You don't want to just look in your sector. You want to look at multiple sectors. And I'm looking at the tech sector, and this thing, it's looking like it wants to pull on back and wants to come back down. So we're getting technology, and I'll show you some more technology companies too. Looks like it wants to pull back. Here's Amazon. Again, we've got all these bearish. So this is a bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, dark cloud cover. I mean, all these, you see all these big red candlesticks everywhere. In the up days, they're not as much as the red candlesticks. They're starting to get outnumbered here. And I think this is going to pull back. It's going to come up like this. It's probably going to roll back over. We'll have to monitor it right here to see what the heck it does. I don't own any Amazon. I'm just looking at the tech companies saying, hey, look, could tech potentially bring us back, pull us back even further than where we're at? So that's why I'm looking at tech and some of these other sectors. This is the trade desk. This thing's looking bearish. It looks like it wants to tank or go down. You can tell there's a step change right here with this nice big down day, bearish engulfing, big old sell-off, came back. And now the up days are small and compact. I don't see any. There's one large up day. And then it comes up, rolls over, bearish engulfing, wants to come on back, I think. Same with Roku. Roku's kind of a leader. This thing's been strong like bull. And I'm just watching it, and it looks like we're putting in a bearish engulfing, which means it's probably going to go down. But I'm seeing these larger down days, like it wants to come on and pull on back. Here's Platinum Group Metals. Looking at it from the opposite perspective, this thing looks pretty good. I wouldn't mind adding a little bit in. This guy's very volatile. It's a exploration company still going into a developer. So we've got a nice big move higher and then the sideways movements. So this guy's probably going to go to the upside, I think. Looking at other platinum companies, IMP, UI, Impala Platinum, this guy's definitely moving on up, looking good and strong. And then Anglo-American Platinum, this guy broke out of a very large pattern here. It's going to move to the upside very rapidly, I think. This is a weekly candlestick chart pattern. So this guy's got a lot of potential to the upside if you like platinum. EEM, this is a tough one because you get this big, large down day and then it pops back up. So but it looks like it's starting to put in a little bit of a bottom. I wouldn't be, I'd be a buyer here probably, and just a teeny bit. Now, SunPower, this guy looks like it wants to go back down. We had a nice reversal candlestick here. I would have been a buyer here. And then we've got these bearish engulfing. So kind of confusing on which way this guy's going to go because you've got a nice big bullish piercing with a hammer going on, which is a very bullish sign. Popped up, and then we got bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. So this one's, it's fighting, and you can see all these bearish engulfings back here. I don't know which way this guy's going. We'd have to watch it. Facebook looks like it wants to go down. And the reason I say that is we got the nice big down days and then the small pull up. This move is faster going down in less days, and then it just struggling to go up. And then it gets punched down again, struggling to go up. I think this thing's putting in a top. That's what it looks like to me. Here's the Dow Jones. Dow Jones doesn't look much better. Two big down days, and then the up days are kind of small and compact here, like Like the buyers are starting to equal the sellers, and I think this is going to roll over and go down possibly. Anglo Gold Ashanti. I'm just showing you bullish engulfing here. We pulled on back a little bit more. Big up day. If we can start stringing a bunch of up days together, gold may turn this thing around a little bit. We're still in pullback mode, but it's starting to look a little bit better, which is good for gold and silver and all the precious metals. And here's gold. This is Barrick Gold. At least we have a large up day. We need to start. The buyers need to come in here, and what I want to see are large, big body candlestick days like this, signaling that we have a change in momentum. Then I want to see small pullbacks. I want the pullbacks to be super small and muted, so we can see this step going up. So it's big move up, small little pullback. Big move up with these big candlesticks. It could be a day or two or three in a row, and then a small little pullback for a couple days, and it just keeps stair-stepping higher. I'm seeing it in a Cisco Gold Royalty, big old bullish engulfing here. Nice big reversal day. I think this looks good. This is very positive for, I would say, the gold sector. I'm seeing a lot of positive movements. Am I calling a bottom here? Not necessarily, but I'm seeing positive developments. The momentum is changing. See Sandstorm? Nice big up day here. Bullish engulfing of the one before it, and it's big inside. So this could be, and I'm not saying it is, but it could be a bottom. But I would be watching it to see if this thing moves on up and breaks this downtrend. If it breaks the downtrend, I'm definitely a buyer then. Yamana Gold's putting in some work too. I'm just looking at these gold companies trying to see what they're doing. See all these big down days and no really big up days? The momentum's to the downside. And then we got to see the up day, the big up days with the big candlesticks step in. Momentum needs to change. Now here's Camco. Again, I wouldn't have guessed this. Dark cloud cover going across. Oh, we do have a bullish engulfing here. Come up, pull back, and then we have a nice step on higher. Would I be a buyer? It's up to you. I mean, it doesn't look bad. VALE, bearish engulfing here, 2 pullback, and then we got a nice big up day here. So this might be reversing to move on up. Maybe the buyers are going to overwhelm the sellers here. Maybe this is all the pullback could muster, was this kind of sideways movement. The sellers tried to push this thing down. Buyers stepped in. So this is one to watch. Now, NIO and the electric car vehicles, the ones that I say that are all in a bubble, because they are in a bubble. Dark cloud cover, bearish engulf, dark cloud cover, bearish engulfing. It's coming on down, selling off hard, 11.2% down day. This thing could tank. So that's one to watch out. That's just Wind Systems, another one. It's pulling back. We're in pullback mode. You can see the momentum slowing a little bit, and it's starting to contract in body candlestick size. So that's one to watch. And this one might be a good one to enter eventually, if you like the renewable sector. NextEra Energy, absolute beast mode. Look at this thing. This was like a beast and a cheetah and a bull all combined. This is beast mode, straight up. I mean, look, there's hardly any pullbacks, too. Pretty crazy. And this is what it looks like zoomed in. We do have a lot of big kind of sell-off days here, but you can see the contraction where the buyers started to equal the sellers here, and then it reversed. This was a day that jumped up and ended lower, so we might see the momentum kind of pull back. It may kind of come back and forth like this, but if you like NextEra Energy, it is a little bit richly valued, but this is a game changer company in the renewable sector. This is Brookfield Renewable Corporation. I'm just looking at these renewables. You got this nice pullback, and then you got a bullish piercing here, and that's typically where you kind of want to pick stuff up, is right in here. So if you like Brookfield Renewable, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not buying any, but I'm just kind of looking at different sectors to see what they're doing. Here's Deep Yellow. Deep Yellow looks okay. It's right on the 50-day. If you want to add a little bit, it's up to you. So looking at the technology companies, I mean, they don't look that great. They look like they're under pressure. The uranium sector, half look pretty good. The other half, they're still putting in work to turn around. Obviously, you're going to have some leaders, pull these things up. So we've got the tech sector coming down. We've got the S&P Dow kind of looking like it wants to roll over, possibly. Uranium's looking pretty good. So on most of those companies, it looks like they're finally turning around. I looked at some of the oil companies. The oil companies were kind of all going sideways. And looking at gold and silver, silver looks good for most of them going to the upside. Gold is still trying to put in a bottom. It's trying to find a bottom. It hasn't found that bottom yet. I haven't seen at least any indications where this thing is going to move higher and the momentum's changed. The momentum is still trying to reverse itself from that downtrend. So again, if you guys want to nibble on some of those uranium companies, that's up to you. It is still an extremely undervalued sector, but don't be surprised if you get the entire market that rolls over, that it may drag some of these things down. So I'm looking to see what the overall market's doing, what the technology companies are doing. They don't look that great. I want to see all this kind of shift around because I think they're still connected. They're still connected right now. And if the entire market kind of gets pulled back, I think it's going to pull uranium and all the other ones back with it. I think. We haven't seen a disconnect of the markets completely yet. They're all still correlated. So that's what I see in this market update. It's up to you guys. Uranium's cheap. You can do what you want to do. I would be perfectly fine picking some shares up here and just holding on and just cost averaging in slowly and watching the markets all around you. I'm not selling anything. I don't have that much money to buy much more anyway. So if you guys like this update, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. Put any comments below. What do you guys think this market's going to do? Do you think it's going to roll over the tech sector? Do you think the S&P 500 Dow is going to roll over? I'm seeing strength in real estate. And that strength, I think, will pull us out of a wide crash. I think what's going to happen is real estate will go up, inflation will come, interest rates are going to want to go higher. They're going to have to hold this interest rate down, they being the Federal Reserve, which then is going to create very large negative real rates. Those real large negative real rates are going to be rocket fuel for commodities and precious metals. So, if they let rates rise, I think the technology sector is going to get decimated. That's what I think is going to happen if they were to let it rise. If they don't let it rise and they want to be able to pay off the national debt with low interest rates, then you're just going to see commodities and precious metals, I think, really take off. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.